You're tuned in to the National Intel Report, the Real Talk Radio Show.
I really appreciate Bob Chapman being with us today. He was not with us, obviously, last Tuesday. He was on the move. And, of course, this week the guy is sick. But real trooper, Mr. Chapman, for being on the program with us. And, Robbie, the Bob Chapman special.
British sovereigns, get them while you can. The premiums haven't gone out of sight, fortunately. $265, a little bit more expensive than they were last week. Order 20 or more, which is $5,300, including shipping. You receive a year subscription to the International Forecaster, an extension, or you can give it to someone who you think may need to wake up. And also receive a fine ceramic mug courtesy of RVN. And I don't know if you got anything else you want to throw into the deal.
Well, yeah, we'll send you the three booklets that James Talmadge Stevens has done. Folks, obviously you can't eat gold and silver. You're going to need water filtration. You're going to need food supplies. You're going to need the ability to grow food for yourself. Check out the website, republicbroadcasting.org. We have sponsors up there that will take care of these needs that you are going to have, and whether you've made a move on it yet, you better do it before your money does run out. And again, folks, look at this gold as simply as this. This is going to be an insurance policy that is going to pay off, okay? It's not life insurance. You got to die, and then somebody else gets it. You're going to realize the gain here real soon. I wished I knew. I wished I could jump in the time machine, go forward, and see exactly where gold's going to peak out. But people have had it anywhere between $5,000 and $8,000 an ounce. So if it's selling for less, or right around, including the premium, for about $1,000 an ounce right now, you do the math. How are you going to survive into the future if you don't take the available assets right now and convert them? Do you plan on living on government welfare? Do you plan on living on food stamps? If that's the case, you better plan on the government still being solvent. Excuse me, they've been bankrupt since 1933. They're just going through the throes of the same bankruptcy. But, folks, we're not giving you a bum steer here. I even have people, I've got people to listen to this network and then have friends of mine that don't even buy gold from us, and I don't know the reason why. That's why we're doing a pledge drive, because gold and silver sales have been down, lost a few advertisers. Folks, we're here to give you the news and the information, but you've got to support us. Please support us. Call 800-724-2719. Talk to my lovely wife, Sandra. Be generous. People are going to come to the trough to drink deep of the well of knowledge that we've got here, but make it available not only for yourself, but those yet to come. Make a donation. You can do it by PayPal, republicbroadcasting.org. Go to the donation page, make a one-time donation or a monthly donation, or simply give us a call here at the network, 800-724-2719, or anonymously or snail mail, just simply RBN 2251 Double Creek Drive, Suite 302, Round Rock, 2 words, Round Rock, Texas, 78664. And be generous, folks, why we still can operate in relative freedom to get the information out there. It's going to be way too important for too many people yet to join this little tea party. Terry in Texas, thanks for holding on. You were saying.
Yeah, on that note, too, I do want to say to you, John, I also have been supporting your network, but when I give, it's anonymously.
I appreciate that very much, Terry. Thank you.
Getting back to that, I think, as far as being able to comprehend as diabolical as it is, it seems like in studying this for me, I only get sort of like these epiphanies, and I was trying to get clarification. That was the reason why I was calling. Much like the myth of, there's this myth in our society that we actually own things, but in reality we don't own anything, because so long as they have the ability to tax us,
right,
you actually never will own it.
Right.
In that same respect, I know this seems maybe I'm just dumb or thick thinking, but it just can't. It was like a shot out of the blue the other day. I was thinking about the other day, those $100 bills that everybody has that sits in their pocket or whatever denomination is. If you think about it, in reality, isn't that true that we don't even own those, that those are just being lent to us?
Yeah. You know, I was out in public the other day, and somebody whipped out a $100 bill, and the person behind the counter is checking for the little magnetic strip in it. And as this kid was doing this, there was a couple standing behind me, and I said, "You see what he's doing?" And they go, "Yeah." And I said, "He's checking the veracity and the validity of a $100 bill without ever questioning what that thing even represents." And the guy turned and looked at me and he says, "Well, all I know is the government's trying to turn our way out of debt." And he says, "They ain't going to do it." I asked him a few more questions. He was dumb as a box of rocks as to the original intent of the Federal Reserve, what their responsibility is supposed to be. Forget the fact that it's illegal, unconstitutional, immoral, unethical, and everything else. But he knew one thing: the government's printing money, which is hurting the value of the dollar. At least he knew that.
But is it not true, even the money that sits in your pocket doesn't really belong to you? It's just being lent to you for you to use?
Any money that we have, we borrowed into existence. It's not a pile like Mr. Midas has a pile of gold, and we work off that little stack. All the money that's in circulation right now, we've borrowed into existence through the fiat system. So essentially, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's just weird when you really start burrowing into it and really trying to look at it from different facets, as I said before. I can't, John, it's even hard for me to comprehend, I guess, because of getting over the stumbling block about how diabolical it is. So I can't imagine how hard it's got to be for other people to comprehend. We're on the outside looking in. I'm on the inside looking out.
Well, yeah, but I think Terry, I think you're getting a little too caught up in the dynamics of the diabolical little plan here. It's fairly simple. And don't let it trip you out, my friend, because that might transfer to somebody that you're trying to get through. Yeah. I know I'm going to sound crazy, but this is what's going on. Well, yeah, you're going to sound crazy if you tell them that you're crazy.
Oh, no, I don't approach it that way at all. No,
all right. Okay, Tara, thanks.
Thank you, bye.
I appreciate it very much. Dave in Arizona. Hello, Dave.
Lynn.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey.
I thought I would just bring up kind of good news. Did you guys see the article in Rolling Stone magazine about Goldman Sachs?
I saw the story the other day when it hit. I think I read the entire thing.
It's pretty interesting, though. I mean, they're openly talking about market manipulation, which Bob and you guys have been talking about for some time, how they can control commodity prices and so forth.
Well, sure.
Well, I think in that article,
in the mainstream,
what Goldman Sachs has admitted to, and what they said was, the person who stole this, who worked for us, if they've given it to somebody else, they can manipulate the markets illegally. And what they've done is admit that they, in fact, are illegally manipulating the markets. Because if this program has that ability, and that's what they've been doing, and that's why they make these preposterous amounts of money.
You're talking about the
my
Russian.
My question
Bob,
is...
You're talking about the Russian, right?
Right.
Yeah.
My question is the Russian a Russian agent?
KGB?
FAS. And so we don't know. And if he is FAS, which is the successor organization to the KGB, then Moscow's got it. And that means that the Illuminists in Europe and the United States are in a heap of trouble.
I mean, is this getting so obvious that they're not going to be able to do it? You know what I mean? Because obviously we know what's going on with gold and silver right now, and the oil prices are being held down. I mean, is this just getting so obvious that eventually they won't be able to do it?
Well, if you got the International Forecaster in the last issue, I had two tapes from CNBC, and on one, there was an interview by a lady who I didn't know of a man who is a professional on Wall Street. And he said the markets are manipulated, and he explained how. Then the other tape from CNBC, there was, I think it was a man named Luther, and Steve Niesman, is it?
Steve Leisman,
he disagreed.
Well, he's a
But
Russian.
the moderator, who is a Wall Street person, agreed with Santelli and a trader named Levin. And Levin really let go. And then Santelli and the other guy backed him up 100%. The whole thing is manipulated. And if you want to get a copy of our last International Forecaster and get those links, all you have to do is ask for a copy, and you can do that through John or Ravi. And in fact, maybe John or Ravi can send it out to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a hard copy subscriber. I just haven't gotten it in like the last few months.